Hi.
Happy.
Well, we put my mask on.
Happy Thursday.
It is Thursday.
Oh, you just said it. You just said it.
It was down. I turned it up. I was very confused.
Well, welcome back to Live from Raps, episode 133.
Did we do an official count? Did you check it?
Yes, I had last week's. I don't know when you copy and paste and you bring forward the new show. Yeah.
We weren't sure if the number was right. So here we are.
133. Live inside Raps Country Lanes. We're still open. We still have people bowling. Lights are on. Cameras on now.
Number went down yesterday. Hi, Ray.
Yeah. So which number went down?
The daily number.
The percentage?
Yes.
So I think the last I saw the percent of cases last night was 2.34%.
Yes.
But in the governor's rampage yesterday, because he was on the tirade.
Well, because they're using the 7-day rolling average.
Right. So he specifically said yesterday a lot of things. He was upset about. Wait, I want to talk about that first.
He was angry.
So De Blasio, I don't know, was he missing? Did he not communicate with the governor? But Cuomo went off. He went off on the reporter asking about the school system being shut down. And so this is the problem, right? There's no communication. So he doesn't know. He didn't want to look bad. And then he looked worse.
By the way he responded.
Yeah. And so, bang, school shut down yesterday.
Well, but
he had no clue.
They've been, I have to say, they've been consistent with the messaging that if the 7-day rolling number went to 3.0, that they would close the schools.
Yeah.
They've been consistent. And is it unfortunate? It's horrible. I feel terrible.
But we didn't question. I don't think anybody was questioning that.
No, I think it was
the fact of how it happened.
Yes.
When it happened.
And listen, it's funny because listen, a lot of people don't like Cuomo, and I'll say again, he's doing a horrible. He's not doing a horrible job. He's doing a difficult job in a horrible time. And listen, I've been known to lose my cool here in this circumstance, so I can only imagine, and I'm not making excuses for him because you're an elected official and you should know how to handle yourself better. But it's got to be sometimes enough. But
this is where we disagree, but that's okay. I think he's doing an okay job in a horrible time, but he's made some very bad choices. He accused the reporter of being rude,
right.
And he was the one being rude and condescending and annoyed. Yeah. Which, hey, I get it. To your point, in this, I think you've seen it. You've seen it from us on different occasions. I mean, but not like that. I mean, it was bad. And then he did specifically state that if New York City went above that 3% mark, we would be put into the orange zone as a whole collectively and shut down. Don't be surprised if shutdowns would happen within a week or two.
Correct.
Now, the question is, because we talked a little bit about this last week, this curfew, this 10 p.m. curfew that we're currently sitting in, almost a week tomorrow, is currently, the executive order expires on Friday, December 12th. So it would be 4 weeks. I don't believe, and I think Naz and I agree on this, do we really believe that he's going to, if all goes well, is he really going to lift it on that day or Monday, or is it going to extend through the holidays? And I think that's a big question.
I think the holidays is a concern. Listen, having been to a wedding ceremony myself, there are clearly gatherings going on and people not wearing masks. So I don't.
Not just in that
truly
environment.
Get a grip on. No, that's what I'm saying. I mean gatherings in general. So until we can get a grip on this, and you know what, people get tested, please. The more people that test, the more people will be negative, and we'll get a true picture of what's really going on.
Tell us how you really feel, Jennifer.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
I think she did.
So today, Thursday, our friend Pam Silvestri will be back on with us. She's going to join us a little later in the show. She was a little tied up, not physically tied up, but
Hopefully not.
She was writing today, but she's going to join us and give us a little update. We're just about a week in to this curfew. It's affecting all businesses, restaurants and bars in different ways. This business tremendously. And we talked about it last week, but here we are. Now we're 6 days in, and we start to truly realize what the impact is, right?
Right.
So we made an adjustment to the league schedule to the best of our ability. Not easy. We've got groups bowling every other week. And I hope that you take advantage of practicing in between, because bowling every other week really isn't ideal.
Correct. So
And then
we
you get
do
the holiday
encourage
in the
people
middle. But we don't have as much open bowling available because of this new schedule. So that creates a little bit of that on the problem. But closing down 2 hours earlier is a huge significance, because now a 9:30 league can't bowl because he can't finish before 10. And then that late night, just as we expected, that late night is abysmal. It's almost non-existent.
Well, there's nothing. Right.
So it's going to be a challenge for quite some time, and hopefully it gets lifted in 4 weeks.
Yeah, that's.
But back to Cuomo, and if Thanksgiving comes and goes without a huge spike in cases, then we'll be in a better position, because
I think so. I
the
honestly
2 week
think that.
period is before December 12th. So it might have been calculated. I hope to think that it was calculated. However, my concern is that you've got these, you've now have this restriction 10 p.m. and Thanksgiving. Wait, back up, because now I lost track because I read the comment. You have the holiday coming, and as a result of the holidays, there is always the concern.
Right.
Now, my concern is you can't tell me what to do in my home. However, you make recommendations.
Right.
And so, I think
I believe that's what they're doing.
People's arguments are, you can't tell me what to do. You're telling me how to, and yes and no. And it's the way that they pose it. Hey, Cuomo, you want to make a recommendation? Make a recommendation. Leave it at that. You don't want to see more than 10 people gathering in a home. Use Zoom like we did the other holidays. Is it the best time? No. But that concern of the spike in cases is truly real. So if we can keep the caseload down by December 12th, then we can lift the curfew.
And also,
I just don't see that happen.
If people get tested, I know I keep saying this, but the more people that are tested, the more negative results there will be, and the number will go down.
So true. And yes, Jennifer, we really turning away customers.
It's
not
terrible.
ideal. It's terrible. Because then, will they come back? Now that they know, will they come back? Hi, Tanya. So speaking of, here are now others. Tanya, you guys are shut down, I believe now, right? Tanya's in Oregon. So throughout the country, we are seeing shutdowns. State of Illinois, California is shut down. In some cases, California is still shut down. And in some other counties, they're shut down again.
Yes.
New Mexico, Philadelphia is like one of the cities that shut down. You're shut down in Oregon. How long? Because now they range between 2 and 4 weeks. Right. Assuming a shutdown happens, they give a 2 to 4 week period, assuming that caseload goes down.
Right.
Here in New York City, if you remember where we were and where we are today, we're still in really good shape.
Oh, we're fourth lowest in the nation.
And we should be. I mean, we shut it down for quite some time. But here we are now, and there is that spike. So now they really are looking at
2 weeks minimum, she said.
They're really looking at not getting to a certain point. So they really want to control. That's how I look. They're trying to control it. Do I agree with it? No, because we can't live like this. We can't shut down. You need to stimulate the economy and stimulate the small businesses. That's going to be the larger problem here. The economy is doing well, but we're not going to put money into businesses to stay closed. So yes, it's going to help the caseload go down, but it's going to create all these other problems. New Jersey specifically said, Murphy specifically said, he's in no way, shape, or form shutting down the state. Because they can't afford it. Their unemployment number is
Murphy
X.
is probably more hated than Cuomo from New Jersey residents.
I don't know about that.
Oh my gosh.
I don't understand why people love Cuomo. They're enamored by him. I don't get it. I'm not going there, but we hope that we don't shut down either. Nobody wants to be in a position for a shutdown. They shut down the schools. The whole thing with the schools, I think I'm still a little confused.
Well, that plan, I believe, was not put in place by de Blasio. I believe that plan was put in place by a coalition of teachers, parents, school administrators, further back at the beginning when they were going back to school. So, and the other thing is, listen, again, this is a difficult situation, and the problem is that and I'm gonna luckily say that I'm not a huge de Blasio fan, but at this point, he's the messenger. This is not, this is something that was decided on between this coalition of people of what they felt was safety, what they felt was safe, and possibly, yes, the UFT, I believe, did give up some of their power into this coalition, possibly. But and Hillary, I agree, people don't really want to do what it is. Because it crosses over into what people feel is they're being controlled by the government. Mm-hmm. So,
no matter who here's the thing, we've been saying this since day one. Whether we're talking about the president, I don't care who the president is at any point in time, they're the messenger. They don't win. And I'm just saying, no matter what they do, they don't win. We're talking about the governor. So I understand. I totally agree with that. The issue, and you're 100% correct, this is not political. We've made it political, and the messaging has become political. Cuomo's message every day makes it political. He points fingers. This is no longer, we need to stop pointing fingers and just do what we need to do. And that's what has bothered me throughout the whole time. When Cuomo speaks, he's on a in my opinion, he's on a soapbox. And that political soapbox, enough is enough. Just do what's right for the people of New York. Get over it. Stop pointing fingers. I don't care what happens, but you need to worry about your own. He's upset, and he should be upset. After yesterday, I would be upset if I were him too. Would I have handled myself in that manner? Probably not. But I would have been upset. Right. But they have politicized it with their messaging. And this is where Governor Murphy gets credit. Governor Murphy he pointed fingers once or twice. That's it. I mean, that guy comes out, does his thing. He, of course, is going to be disliked by the people of the state. But at the same time, because they're all hated.
That's what I said.
All my friends around the country, they're all hated.
That's what I said. You talk to anybody in any state, the person that's the administrator that's giving the message, that's relaying, I'm sorry, we have to shut down now, is not liked.
It's all about how we do it, right? It's all about how you send that message. And hey, Sal, I don't want to be swapping anybody right now.
Yeah. Be careful what you wish for.
Well, we talked a little bit about this. If Cuomo was to accept a cabinet position, which
everybody will be happy.
Well, I don't know about that. We wind up with the lieutenant governor at this point. And so when we really look at it, I'm a firm believer that the people around the leader also make the decisions.
Well, yeah, so that's why the leader surrounds themselves.
So the lieutenant governor is not going to be a fix. It'll be a short-term fix because now there'll be an election because there'll be an election for a new person, whether the lieutenant governor runs or not. But Cuomo's going to run again. He has no term limits. I don't see him coming for two more terms after that. But
what difference?
It doesn't. But I'm just saying, my point is, I wouldn't want to swap. I mean, what does that do?
Right.
It doesn't fix the problem.
We're still faced with the same challenges. And unless people realize that this is real, this coronavirus it's here and it's real. And every week that goes by, I hear of another 3 or 4 people that I know that test positive, or people who are really sick, and it's just wear your mask. Just wear your mask.
It's not difficult. And this is one of my largest beefs. Hey, we're being asked to do I want to wear this? You've heard me say this. Do I want to wear this mask? No. Do I want to tell you to wear the mask? No. Do me a favor. Somebody says that science says that we should do it to protect each other. Let's just do it. And here's where we're at today. The spike in cases is because people let their guard down. People were getting comfortable. Last week, we specifically talked about how the restaurants, when Pam comes on, we'll talk to her about this too, where I've been in restaurants and I've had amazing experiences, and I have not necessarily felt uncomfortable just yet. I had one case, I felt a little uncomfortable, but it wasn't necessarily that, it was just the way that we were seated. Other than that, I felt comfortable being in the environment because we were spaced from other people. My issue is people get up from their table without wearing a mask to go to the bathroom. And the restaurants are not enforcing that. And that's what makes it difficult for businesses like us, where we had now 4 visits. We had 4 visits, 3 inspections in the last week. 2 of them were educational. They came to tell us, hey, FYI, and great, no problem. The 3rd one was another visit, and he was very comfortable with what we were doing, how we were handling, and we felt great about that. But it's nerve-wracking because they walk in and you don't know what to expect. Yeah. And so I would love to send them to plenty of places where there's a problem. But all these places that are creating this, we're creating a shutdown and a curfew for the few bad apples. And do I want the government to shut individual businesses down? No. But we need to make a point where we need to help fix this problem.
So here's the conundrum. The only way for this to really work is to put these restrictions on. Putting the restrictions on strains the community, strains the business community, strains people's personal struggles. We've all heard about the mental issues that arise out of being quarantined and being like away from people. So, at some point, there's a tipping point. And the point is when it becomes that the hospitals are going to start being overloaded with people, which I spoke to somebody yesterday, and they work in the ICU, and they said it's getting there right now. And I know I have a couple of people watching on my watch party. I would like to know that work in hospitals. I would like to know what they're seeing in their hospital. So, and anybody that's watching here, if you work in a hospital or friends with somebody who works in a hospital, I'd like to know what they're seeing in the hospitals themselves. Because honestly, that's the driving force behind all of this, is that, listen, people are going to get sick. We're not going to be able to really stop that. Is that we don't want the hospitals to get to the point where, like, if I don't feel good, or if I really feel like I need to go to the emergency room, I'm not going to go because I'm not going to COVID people there.
Well, yeah. And so, Hillary, thank you for your insight. What are you having for lunch today?
Yes, we haven't talked food in so long. I can't wait for Pam to come back.
The good thing, and anybody that I know that's in the health space has talked about, hey, we're in a better position because we know so much more today than we did back in March and April. So, and the problem back in March and April, because the number of caseloads, we didn't know what to do or how to treat it properly. We were doing all these different things.
Right. Learning as we go.
The other
novel virus.
Right. The other cases, and we kind of joked about this. If you go back to our shows back in April and May, cancer was on vacation. And sadly,
well, you joked.
But at the same time, I was joking. We're not really joking, but you bring a light to it. These other people with other issues couldn't be seen because of the overloading case of COVID patients. So the hospitals, while they're seeing the uptick, they're in a better position to treat people. I do know someone who's sitting in the hospital at this moment, and I wish them well and thinking about them. And we've talked already. And just from their perspective, they watched somebody go through it several months ago. They're so much more comfortable about where they're sitting right now because of what's happened. And so kind of thankful that it happened today and not months ago.
Right, not months ago.
And it's terrible to say that, but it's interesting. Oh, from La Iguana Azul, I love that place. That's around
That
the block.
sounds delicious.
Steak burrito, guac and chips, and a margarita for lunch. I'm so
I'm definitely jealous. Yeah, I'm not a
Totally
drinker, but,
jealous.
and my other concern is our healthcare workers. I mean, they went through incredibly trying times already, and for them to kind of relive this scenario again is concerning to me. I worry about their mental health, and I would hope that whatever facility they work for or whoever their employer is, has proper outreach and has the right, the correct resources for them, and are making sure that, somebody is touching these people and talking to them, because that's a concern.
No, it is. It's really concerning. And we go back, the mental health crisis, you're talking about it. It is still an issue. It's going to continue to grow. Listen, you can't, Naz, you can't.
Are you saying you can't?
I can't help you.
You can't.
It's so easy for us to say you can't shut down. And I advocate for that so much, because we can't take more steps back.
Right?
Because that is only going to make, listen,
Right.
we really, I do
Recovery.
feel that we really should be in a recession right now, and we're not. Now, we did the government poured money into our economy. Great, we needed to do that.
Yeah.
We're not in a recession. We're overall, people are doing well. Unemployment numbers have come back up, have went back down, but are only going to rise with more shutdowns. That's because we're telling them they can't work. Even with the businesses opening, we're still not at full capacity. We still have people out of work. Sadly, I mean, do we want to live like that? No. But the less people working creates more problems. And when you hear this little rhetoric of, if we shut it down, it'll help boost the economy. It doesn't. It's actually going to create more problems.
Well, I believe what they
feel. You can't keep turning it on and off.
I believe what they feel is that it'll help the economy in the long run, because it will, we'll be able to get past it quicker. I believe that's the intention behind that. But if anybody has any question about whether we're in crisis or not, drive by any food pantry.
We're in crisis in different ways, right? So,
I've seen the lines triple in size easily outside two of the food pantries that I drive past every day on my way to work. And it's sad, and it's all walks of people. It's not, the people you would think that would be looking for help.
No.
But listen, it's a scary time. And please, just, if you wear your mask and do what will help all of us.
Concerned citizens, continue to do your part. That's really what it comes down to, right? We
and
all
that's
need
everybody.
to keep doing our part. Hillary happened to share with me her lunch. Now I believe this is her dinner from last night, because now she said the margarita is gone. So I believe that, because I mean, who really wants to hold on to a margarita too long? And you don't leftover, you'd have to make a new one. That does look delicious. I love their food.
I've never been there.
Patricia,
it's the other side of the aisle.
as Hillary does point out, your timesheets are probably not tasty. I did ask, if you're eating lunch with us today, or listening, what are you eating? Share with us, please, because we really haven't talked about food.
We haven't. We've been neglectful.
We have. Well, when we were doing this daily, we had a whole day dedicated to food. So now the day is Thursday, so every day should be just dedicated to food. Yeah, and it really, and Patricia, you're right, it really is sad how many people are in need. And for Diana Arnett from Community Health Action was on the show earlier in the beginning of March, and her story still rings true today of the work that they're doing.
Yep.
And the amount of clients that have come through their doors. They also help and oversee the Staten Island Pride Center. And so, Marcy, if you are watching, you're usually quiet, but I know you pop on. They've also done some amazing work, but the client load, while walk-up client load is different because the center is closed. It's no different that many of these organizations have the same issues, right? The physical centers are closed because of the environment.
Right.
So we're providing telehealth services
Right.
and visits. And the Pride Center has really done a great job of providing those services during this time. And they've also were talking about how they've reached a new audience that
Right,
necessarily
people who wouldn't have necessarily walked up.
no, because they live on a different part of the island, and so they would have never come down to Bay Street. So it's every organization seeing it. We're seeing it. We've been doing some deliveries with the Rotary Club and Community Health Action, delivering to veterans. And there's a need there. There's a need for people. There always was a need, and now it's growing. And the holiday time creates another challenge as well. So I have to say, we got this really warm email last night. I'm assuming you might, I don't know if you saw that. The Rotary Clubs of Staten Island collectively, the 5 clubs,
Oh, yes.
every Thanksgiving get together. It's typically tomorrow night. We would be getting together in a warehouse, packing up Thanksgiving dinners and delivering them Saturday morning for for about almost 1,000 families around Staten Island, which 1,000 families, you're feeding anywhere from 4,000 to 8,000 people on Staten Island. And this year, we really just couldn't do what we normally do. Get together, gather, logistically make deliveries. So we transformed a little bit in partnership with the ShopRites, the Mannix family in ShopRite, and kudos and thank you to them.
Yeah, they are.
We're delivering gift cards. So gift cards have been delivered to families, to these same families in need this holiday season. And we got this great email last night from a family who would normally receive this frozen turkey and all the fixins and just felt that I couldn't believe you still went out of your way to do something. And so they got delivered a gift card. They could go to the store if they have the means, or ShopRite is offering their at-home services for them. And I have to say, and as we talked about, one of the best days of the year, for those of us involved in Rotary, and this project, we've been working on it since I'm a kid. It's something that I've been involved in. And sadly, in the last few years, I haven't been able to participate. And I was so looking forward to this year because I was actually going to be home, usually traveling the weekend. And that's all right. Next year, we're with all hopes, we'll get back at it. But we were still able to provide, and knowing those gift cards just went out. When you get that note, it just reaffirms
that you're
there's a need, and that we're working together to make that happen. Kenny's not eating it, squeezing in some time on the elliptical.
Oh, Kenny, I'm interested in talking to you about your elliptical. I have, since we are not anytime soon going back to the gym, I've set aside a room in my home that I'm going to make into a little home gym. So I want to know what kind of elliptical you have. I'm either doing an elliptical or a treadmill, depending on what he wants.
She's still unsure.
Of those two, between those two, because it's up to him.
This conversation's been going on for a week now.
No, because then if it was up to me, I like the rower. But I found
the rower? What's a rower?
A rower.
Oh.
Rowing machine.
Okay.
So I found a tower with the different pulleys on it, which is something that I like to do. So I've already made that decision, and I'm going forward with that purchase. But I'm interested in the elliptical machine, and somebody who's had a good experience.
It's in the living room. It annoys Joanne from time to time because it squeaks while
we had one of those too.
We had it for a long time. We had a bike and a treadmill, and it was in the gym, in the basement, out of sight, out of mind, which was always my challenge. So this conversation started this week as I got sucked in and I dove in and I bought a Peloton. Now, the beautiful part about it, I ordered it 2 months ago. They have this monthly payment plan, interest-free, which made it more palatable for me to say I could afford and do it. So I think it's about $120 a month. You have to give something else up in order to squeeze it in.
Life is always a trade.
And I have to say, I got it on Sunday. I've now done 5 rides, and after doing 3 days in a row was tough. Yesterday I had to take the day off because I pushed myself on Wednesday. I should have taken Wednesday off. No, I should have taken Tuesday off. I didn't take Tuesday off. I pushed myself, so I got back on this morning, and I have to say, it's in my room. It's not a clothing rack. It is
Awesome.
there. It's by my window. It's so far I'm loving it. And the cool part about it is that I have friends that have them. So we've been communicating. We can take rides together. So I'm looking forward to like, okay, I'm going through beginners, 20-minute classes, 20 minutes. I did a 5-minute cool down. This morning, I'm itching back up. I did a 15-minute ride versus a 20 just because of what I experienced yesterday.
Yeah, the rubber band legs are.
Yeah, I also
they're
discovered
interesting.
after a ride, you can't go down the stairs. You shouldn't go down the stairs. So I almost fell, and great. I'm excited. So we'll see. It's cool. It's just a cool device. David Kaczynski, happy birthday. There were tons of birthdays this week. We talked about
November's
this.
a hot time.
Ooh, fun.
Well, from November to December, there were a lot of birthdays. It's that.
Well, you know,
I know.
9 months ago,
Yeah, when was that?
Valentine's Day. So, you know, it could have been a snowstorm,
Could have been anything.
deep winter, a Valentine's Day celebration, poof, Scorpios and Sagittarians aboard.
Two of the best signs ever.
I could argue about that Scorpio though.
Well, we
The
know
Sag.
we know that the Sag is all the best.
The Sagittarians are the best. Hi, Greta. She's bringing back my newspaper. Oh, I didn't read today's paper yet. The Advance. So we get the Advance daily. Happy early birthday to Dorothy.
See,
Check it out.
everywhere.
So,
Birthdays
and
everywhere.
another Scorpio. No, you are on the cusp, right? Tomorrow, the 20th.
It's tomorrow, right?
Oof, you're a little bit of everything. I met a lady last night who her birthday is tomorrow. She was celebrating last night. Anthony and I were having dinner, and she was celebrating her 85th birthday with her friends.
Very nice.
And I don't like to call seniors cute because they don't like to be called cute, but she really was this cute old lady, 85 years old. You would have never known. But we started talking about signs, and then she went into this whole big thing about being on the cusp.
That's great.
And she feels like she is a Sagittarian more than a Scorpio. And she went into this whole big thing. So happy birthday, Dorothy. Battle of the Schools. Oh, good question. So our tournament schedule is all over the map right now.
Yes, and it has changed again in the last day.
It did. So officially, the New Year's Singles Classic will take a break in 2021. Jim Elliott has told us yesterday he just feels that he can't run the event as we would.
Right.
So we're going to put the New Year's Singles Classic on hiatus. However, as of today, all the other events are moving forward. The Battle of the Schools, we're moving forward with it as it is New Year's Eve, so look for that information. We do have to adjust our scheduling because we have a high school division and then we have the alumni,
Right.
which the alumni tournament has been awesome. A little idea that sparked and has turned into a morning of fun.
It
So
certainly has.
we do need to work on the format a little bit. We don't want people crossing all over the place just in this environment. So be on the lookout, but we are certainly looking to have that event again New Year's Eve.
That's the plan.
This would be year
3.
3?
Yeah.
Wow. It's been fun.
Yeah.
And the cool part about that event is that for us, graduates of Newdorf, we were both, the last few years we bowled with our friends that we haven't bowled with in a long time.
That's what I love about that event. I love that.
They're not bowling now. It's an opportunity for them to come out and, it's been a lot of fun. So this weekend we have a junior gold qualifier on Saturday, which is our second of the season. We offered an opportunity with our welcome back tournament. So slowly but surely, and hopefully we can stay
Creeping
open.
back.
Creeping back. We stay open and we're trucking along. So we will post as the events get posted. They're on our Facebook page. The next larger event, of course, is our Thanksgiving leftovers adult child no time.
Next weekend.
Next weekend. So leftovers, get it? Haha. Weekend after Thanksgiving. Yes. How long have you been running that tournament?
Oh, it's a long time. It's definitely more than 20 years. Definitely more. I don't even want to think about
But we're here 25, so it's at least that.
Yeah.
And that's always a fun event. So, hey, guys, I just got this ring alert. So I'm a little behind, but we just got a ring. And I have to say, I'm a fan. I was listening for the longest time. Naz has one. It's always going off, and she's yelling at the guy who's delivering a package. Somebody walks up. I mean, there's always something. But at the moment, recycle bin stealer. If she can
when you
steal
have the
garbage
neighborhood.
bins, she may steal your delivery packages.
You have the neighborhood?
I guess I do.
Yes,
It's the first
yes.
neighborhood thing, but somebody is posting
Yes.
a video of somebody who stole their recycle bins.
Yeah.
That's this is around the block for me.
Yeah. When they first started that neighborhood thing, they didn't really zero in down on where it was happening. It would give you like a general idea. Now, it's not the exact address, but it gives you a pretty close idea of where it is, which makes it so much more helpful.
So now, not only do we get the
Right, the citizen alerts.
We get ring alerts.
You can't miss anything that's going on
Yeah.
now.
I might turn that off because I don't necessarily know if I really care.
Well, sometimes it's good to know.
Yeah, I don't really
I
care.
mean,
about
you
the
could
ladies
probably
recycling.
silence it so that it doesn't.
Yeah, well,
ring.
it is silent, so it didn't ring. Do you guys like your rings? Do you have them? Ring or what's the other one? Nest.
Has one.
I have to adjust mine. Mine needs a little wedge. So they sell the wedge to push it to angle it a little bit. Because mine is in the corner and I see the mailbox, but I need to wedge it out a little bit to see.
Yeah,
More on the front
you
door.
can go in and adjust the settings, and it's really simple.
Oh yeah, I
If
can't
you
change
like
the
the
angle of the
circle-
screen now.
Yeah,
It's already too. It's not. It can't go far enough.
right. I have the wedge on.
But they're made pretty nice.
Yeah, I have very little problems with mine. I have two of them.
So
Putting in another one this weekend. In the
I was
back.
thinking about putting up one in the back
Yeah,
in the
I'm
yard.
putting one in the back.
But for where we are, it's really not. You just never know.
You never
My
know when
concern is
somebody's
if somebody be
creeping in
home
your
alone.
backyard from jumping up. Well, who knows?
Hey, so we're talking about the holidays coming up. So Thanksgiving's next week. Crazy. So there will be no show next week.
So I see what's coming up. I'm gonna let you go.
Oh, I think.
Go on about what's
Yeah,
happening.
well, so Thanksgiving's coming. I think we're all concerned about what we initially were opened with, the shutting down and
How life was
how
gonna be.
life's going to be. But glimmers of hope, right? You still have to have glimmers of
Absolutely.
hope and be excited for the holiday season. So yesterday, I think I now know where you want to go with this. So do I need to get another picture? Is that what you're?
No, you don't need one picture. That's good.
No, not of ours. Are you?
No, I know what you're talking. Yeah, that's what I'm going.
I now realize what you meant. So our Christmas tree has been delivered. This does look a little bit bigger than our tree from last year. Last year's tree was
Well, we were a
about.
little disappointed last
I mean,
year,
it was-
I think. Yeah,
It was big.
But you wanted big.
I told them I wanted a big tree. So they range anywhere between 16 to 20 feet. And of course, the higher they get, they're harder to get because they take longer
Yes.
to grow.
Right.
So our tree was delivered yesterday. So this will be erected on in the front. It's going to look beautiful. We're excited. So last year we started a new tradition where we put up this beautiful tree up front, and
Here we go.
there we
Here
go. See, Jennifer took us right into it. So
You
it's going to be really nice. So we're excited. It was beautiful last year.
hope when they open it, because you don't know.
We don't know. Well,
Because the Rockefeller Christmas tree looked great on the truck too.
Okay.
So for those, I knew somebody, and I figured it was going to be Jennifer, would have something to say about the Rockefeller Christmas tree.
okay. But here's the problem, though.
It first of all, it's a tree. The tree now has a Twitter.
It always had a Twitter. Oh no, now the new tree has
now
it.
the new
Okay.
tree itself has a Twitter, and it has answered some of the mean comments that have been hoisted at it. But you know what I thought was awesome? They found a little baby owl in the tree.
They did, and that's some people. I did see some conversation about that not being good luck or anything, which I thought was
Well, I don't think owls are bad.
no. I think they're good luck. I think there's something to be said for that. But the owl was adorable.
It's and so somebody was talking about the owl. It was funny. They had a very funny conversation about the owl this morning. So now you're an owl and you're up in a tree in upstate Oneonta, New York, and you're just hanging out, and then all of a sudden, you know.
You get ripped out of your environment,
Yeah,
and now you're in the middle
all
of
a
New
sudden,
York City.
All of a sudden, your house is kind of falling over. You're jostled down the highway for however
4
many
hours.
hours it takes to get from there to there. You're sitting, obviously, they compact and wrap the tree. So now this little owl is all compacted inside the tree, tied up. And then they open it up, and he's in New York City.
That's no different than the Mandarin duck. The duck that's in Central Park.
The duck that's in Central Park.
They still don't know how it got here. But it's a beautiful duck, but it's from Asia.
Yeah.
You had a parent-teacher conference and didn't miss a beat. Well, thank you. But I'm assuming a virtual parent-teacher conference. I didn't know they were. Well, they should be doing them. So wait.
Yeah, I knew somebody else.
I want to know.
last week.
Tell us about the parent-teacher conference. Sorry. So this is the tree in Oneonta. This is the Instagram for the Rock Center. Look at this beautiful tree, right? That is the tree, right? That's the tree.
That's the tree.
That is the tree that the family donated. It's going to be thrown on a truck and get delivered. So then it's brought to New York City. This is when it's lifted off the property. It's wrapped up.
Poor owl is in there.
Poor owl's in there.
What the hell is going
And
on?
then everybody went nuts because this is now what it looks like.
Give it a chance.
Okay. Well, this is my thing with this whole thing. That tree is still wrapped up. In this form, in this picture, the tree is still wrapped up on the top.
Right, it's not.
So the bottom
it's
down.
not open. It's like when you put together your tree at home.
Yeah.
It hasn't fully opened up.
But it does. I mean, the memes are hysterical.
They are very
people
funny.
looking at the memes. Oh well, of course we'd have a shitty Christmas tree for
because
2020.
it's 2020.
Yeah. But look at this is what it looked like.
And it will look like that. It's going to look beautiful once all the lights.
And it already does. So. This disturbs
2020
me.
issues, 2020 problems. Why not?
All right. So now this. Give me a moment because now I do have. So we have a. Oh. Okay. Thank you. This is the tree. After it was unwrapped, but nobody's talking about that.
No, because the first image is so stark.
Where did it go? Why did it open up like that? Anyway, I'm gonna pull this because this is the. It looks so much better.
Yeah.
That it's unwrapped.
It's a tree. It's in the city. I mean, it's not going to look like it's in a forest. I don't know when a tree's
But
been
this is the
scrutinized.
now this is the tree. Come on, load. Let's go. Here we go. See, a little better. A little better. Now the thing is they put the scaffolding up around it.
Correct.
To then light it.
Right.
Get the Swarovski crystal star on the top.
Right, which I think they might have done.
It's not going to stay looking like this.
Yeah.
It's not. It's going to look much like this. And that's the tree. This is the tree.
And I may go see it this year because we have an appointment in Manhattan.
Wear your mask.
Yes, I will. Believe me. Well, I don't know how close we'll get, but
just wear your mask. I don't know. I don't know if they've talked about their plans. So what I do know. So next week. So next week's Thanksgiving. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is on. No spectators, and they're going to kind of do what they did for 4th of July. They're going to, do some pop-up events,
right?
And then they'll have some live on that day. So be sure to tune in because you'll get to see the
I think it's
huge bowling shoes and bowling pins.
Because something great happens every year with that.
Yeah, well, the first year, I mean, it got some amazing press. Al Roker got knocked over, and then last year the bowling pin. So the first year Al Roker threw himself into the bowling ball. Last year the bowling pin deflated.
Yes, it did.
So one of the bowling
Something
pins
always
deflated.
happens with the bowling.
And they're not balloons. They're balloonicles. So all the shoes are these huge shoes that they're being driven. They're fiberglass. And then the bowling pin and the bowling ball are balloonicles where there's people driving inside them, which you could kind of
not
tell.
like the regular, like the ones you actually see floating.
Right. So the holidays are here. We're excited. Let's be as excited as possible. Let's play it safe.
I wanted to say, I love that they named the owl Rockefeller.
Oh, I didn't see it. Oh, that's cute.
They named him Rockefeller, which is so cute.
Is it a he or a she?
I didn't ask.
So now, does Rockefeller have a lot of money now, automatically?
Automatically.
I want to know. I mean, now that owl's a Rockefeller. Oof. I mean, it's gotten all this press.
Yeah.
The owl is really cute, though.
It is. It's a little baby owl.
The owl is really cute. Now I'm going to have to pull up a picture of this owl. Has everybody seen this owl? I think it's absolutely adorable. I just can't believe that the tree has its own.
In a way, it gives hope for 2020.
It does. It really does.
That it could survive everything that was going on.
So I'm going to find a photo, but Pam Silvestri has joined us. Pam is in the car. Let's bring Pam.
She is talented.
Hi, Pam.
Hi, how are you?
We're good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm sorry about this. I apologize. I wanted to join you so badly, and I literally, I can't even tell you what went on this morning. But anyway, everything's all good, and just worried about restaurants shutting down their dining rooms, or rather, the mayor shutting them down.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about that. So now, even though we have this curfew, and we talked at length about the curfew and the shutting down 2 hours earlier, which is pretty significant, which you and I talked about. But really, what are you hearing at this moment from your restaurant friends? How impacted are they by the current curfew?
Okay, so the curfew is an issue, a big issue. And I think more than anything, what trumps it all is the fear of the customers. So even if the dining rooms, weren't shut down, people are scared. I mean, I'm personally speaking, like my dad, is elderly. I take care of him. I cook all his food, and, I have a bunch of women that come in and take care of him. And one woman's husband, is sick, and, it's opened up. It's like now Thanksgiving is like, we're obviously not going to have them over for Thanksgiving. And, so I think a lot of people, because of the frequency of the testing, it's coming out that, we're getting more positive results, and then that, it's getting over 3% now for days, and it's just not good. So it's not looking good. My guess, and I'm trying to be hopeful here, but my guess is that the things are going to shut down. So you have 3 tiers of restaurant owners. There's the majority of them that are completely puzzled and, are trying to figure things out, like just basically waiting for word that there's a shutdown and hoping to God that it doesn't happen. There's another tier that, people, and I guess people who own the buildings that they have their storefronts in, and those people are a little bit in a better spot, considering maybe just shutting down just for a little while. And then there's the other tier, which is a very small percentage of people who are just going to stay open no matter what and defy whatever the governor or mayor says. So that's the situation.
That's an interesting point, because we talked about this too. One of the concerns that I have is with the curfew of 10 p.m. Now, how many people are going out to dinner at 9:30 during the week? I mean, it's not many. It's somebody who works. All right, let's go grab a quick bite. But it's mainly on the weekends. However, what some of us have witnessed is it's going to force, and I'm not making this right because it's still a problem, but it's going to force these restaurants to want to go over that 25% capacity so that they don't have to turn anybody away. Now, I've seen it, I've heard about it, where they're still spacing out tables, but there are a few people over that 25%, so they don't have to turn them away because they can't stay open after 10 p.m. And so how many restaurants are going to try to push the envelope? Again, I'm not saying it's right. I look at what we're doing here, and we're doing what we can. But I think that's a real issue.
Yeah, interesting. I just want to branch off into another part of this conversation, which is if you function and you function under the radar, like what do? You do have speakeasies that have popped up, and I have a neighbor that sells blackout curtains. I don't want to promote it, but that's what. That's what it kind of is coming down to is either succumb, close down, or just kind of muddle through it. And it's not going to be easy because not only your capacities, I mean, like if you go back to the to-go format, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's such a gray area. It's such a strange thing to do when you translate your food to from a sit-down format to packing it all up to go.
Yeah.
But I will say this: Trattoria Romana's last day of service is on Sunday.
Yeah.
And that is a really tragic situation because under normal circumstances, people would be flooding his restaurant and like, going there, so desperate to say goodbye to him and give them, give best wishes. And the guy can't even, reap the benefit of those last days of business when people are in that mode, And
Yeah.
It's very sad. The whole thing is terrible. And I just can't believe we're in this position,
Yeah. When Frankie and I first talked about this shutting down and how it would affect the restaurants, I said, well, the concern I would think for them is a big concern got to be is how many times can they turn that table over now, that limited space. And I said, I would think it would make sense for them to not allow people to make just a reservation at any open time, but do, like time slots. And I believe it's one of Julian's restaurants, maybe Beso or Blue, that they have done that. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen it, but it makes sense,
Yeah, he's got like one from 4 to 6 and maybe 6 to 8 and then 8 to 10. That those are the times that he's accepting.
It makes a lot of sense to do that, because then you get everybody on the same clock, and you can turn the dining room within enough time, and you get them out by 10 p.m., which is when then you face the sheriffs coming in and shutting you down or getting fined. So.
Well, and technically, it is a hard 10. Technically, it's a hard 10 o'clock. We had grace periods before. There's not really room for a grace period, which I think is part of that challenge too. And maybe our restaurants are going to start embracing what New Jersey embraced for a while, that 90-minute visit. And on the table, it said your dining experience is limited to 90 minutes. So do we anticipate that to be the case here? And I've seen it in a couple of places, but I thought I would see it more. But maybe now over the next few weeks, we might see it as people are celebrating for the holidays. And I can't imagine, you talk about those owners, their holiday business, they're taking holiday parties and holiday dinners, but they're probably overbooking and then going to have to cancel some.
Yeah. I mean, from a business owner standpoint, it makes sense to have people pigeonholed into definitive time slots. I think it does. I mean, it's more efficient, and you don't get people who are lingering, aka campers, But I will say on another note, yesterday I was at the Staten. I just sort of did a wellness check over there. It was really very sad. The restaurant is shut, and it's just really awful. And they are very positive people, I have to say, the LaGreckis. What they did say was that they had they got deluged with cancellations. People who did have parties booked, small parties booked. They canceled. I have a few friends actually the last couple of days who have kids that are getting married or whatever, and the weddings were canceled, like completely canceled. I was stunned by that. And then on top of it, so they don't have any guests except like the immediate family, and then the parents of a couple of them are quarantining on their own because they don't want to, God forbid, get anybody sick, or they don't want to be sick for the wedding. So then that's 2 more people out of the population of people dining out.
Yep.
So it's just a terrible. This is really much like March 16th all over again.
Yeah, and you know what I've seen, and I really don't understand people. If they talk about how much they value restaurants and they're a vital part of Staten Island businesses, almost every restaurant I've been in has held tables for reservations, and people have not either called to cancel or they just didn't show up.
Ugh.
And I cannot believe how crippling that is, an additional burden for the restaurant.
Yeah, that's pretty awful, and that happens on holidays anyway. That's a very
Yep.
common thing on
Yep.
Staten Island, where the people make several reservations for Mother's Day
Yeah.
or Easter, and then they just don't show up because
Yep.
they don't have the courtesy of canceling. So yeah, that's really sad. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, and we've seen that too. We take paid reservations for that reason. When you make a reservation, you're making a paid reservation. But we've seen that too, where they made the reservation, they even paid for it, and then call and cancel, and then it just takes away from someone else being able to just take that.
Wait, if they
That's
call
fine.
and
It's tough.
cancel, at least that's something. But to just not show up, it's
Rude.
just so disrespectful.
Rude.
Yeah.
Hey Pam, so you're back at it in the mornings.
Yes, she is.
Live from the kitchen. So what's going on?
Oh well, so Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, I'm broadcasting from my kitchen. I did this in the pandemic at a time that I felt that I was losing contact with people, and I just think that kind of brings us all together, especially at a time when we're going to be plunged back into the darkness, I think, for a brief time. But as long as we keep in touch with each other and communicate, it'll all work itself out. And I think that we have a nice community of food people on that page, which is the point. And it's, so from 9 o'clock to about 9:18, 9:20, we just talk about things that are going on right at the moment, and, places that are open and what's going on. And people observe like trends like courting, which is starting again. In the supermarkets, which again takes the people out of the restaurants, keeping people at home and cooking. But the other thing is on Wednesdays at 9 a.m. I broadcast from the advanced platform in a thing called The Dish, and at the moment it's supposed to be at a different location around the island, different restaurants, and I go by what the comments do, and we sort of do an off the cuff discovery of the restaurant. But what next week, if all goes well, we are gonna go from Griff's, which is a place that it's the only bar left on Staten Island after the pandemic that still serves in the morning, like at 8 a.m. There's, I guess the exception is Trackside, but we lost a lot of bars like Mug Shots and a lot of the old man places like Talk of the Town. So this is
So Wednesdays at what time?
What time?
at 9 a.m. Wednesday. It's the day before Thanksgiving. It's supposed to be the busiest bar day of the year. Traditionally, when college students get together and everybody reconnects back in their neighborhoods, but apparently that's not going to happen this year, right?
Well, it's funny. It is for us historically. It is the busiest. It is the busiest bar night of the year, and it's different because people are off the next day and they know they can do it. So even in our environment, shutting down at 10 p.m., it's like whoa. And so the concern that I have specifically to that night, no different than everything else that when we talk about every time they put a restriction in place, it creates other problems. One of the challenges that I see for Wednesday, people are going to start drinking earlier and drinking more in a shorter period of time than they would when they can spend the whole night in a bar. Because normally on Thanksgiving Eve, we're open until 2 a.m. with people hanging out and they're spreading their drinking out. Is it going to force people to say, you know what, screw this, let's just get it done with? And I'm not advocating for that at all. And that's where bartenders need to do their jobs. But the borough president's office has done a good job over the last few years in conjunction with the DA and other groups with providing the free Uber ride. So assuming that'll be in place, but I just hope that it doesn't create that problem.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. You bring up an excellent point, which is that for every action, there's a reaction. And, a lot of times when laws are made or rules go into place, you can't fathom what the implications are going to be. And that's what happened in the pandemic, with markets, upsetting supply and demand and things like that. So it's a very valid point. My answer to that would be start drinking earlier. And, I'm saying that jokingly, of course. But.
Hey, all right. So speaking of Thanksgiving, what are your today's Thanksgiving plans? How does a chef cook for Thanksgiving?
I love Thanksgiving. It's my favorite holiday, and I plan to start doing some baking the day before. I have this very housewifery recipe for a pumpkin chiffon pie, which is a no-bake pie.
Oh.
Yes, it's like from one of those things from the back of Good Housekeeping magazine from 1971. And, it's like, this Jell-O, you put like gelatin in there. It's really cool. And the kids love it. And it's got a graham cracker crust and it's really good. And we break out the Cool Whip because the kids won't eat the fresh whipped cream. And then, the one time of the year we use Cool Whip. And I'm going to do, I just love cooking, and I love the smell of the turkey. And of course, we're getting a giant turkey, even though it's going to be like 4 of us. But the one thing I'm really looking forward to is playing football with my kids. We have a Nerf football, and I'm looking forward to going up the block to the park and tossing the football around for an hour. Cool. I'm really looking forward to that. And maybe watching a movie with them or something in the afternoon. But I don't know.
I was watching something this morning, and they were talking about one of the things that people can do now to kind of help them stay sane is to kind of get out for like an hour a day, every day, be outside. I mean, it obviously will help pandemic-wise, health-wise, and it kind of keeps your brain a little connected to the earth too. So I think that's a great plan. I think plan to be outside.
I think that's a great idea. I also think that turning back to religion is a good idea. And I very believe, I think that adults have to stay very strong, and those little short breaks between things are very important, especially as, people have to work at home with their children in the next room.
Yes. Yeah.
I think how we manage ourselves as parents at this point is going to be kind of how the future is going to roll for us. So we have to stay strong and, keep cooking, not too much. So,
Yeah, if you talk about traditions and Thanksgiving, I mean, everybody has traditions. My brother can argue, we don't have enough traditions. We have a lot of traditions, including making 2 damn turkeys. We fry one and we roast one.
That just started, right? Recently.
That's about 5 years now.
Right,
At least 5 years.
Right.
And I will tell you, we eat it all. But, our Thanksgiving table is a little bit smaller this year. So do we need 2 turkeys? We probably do.
Should never have too much.
We have to relish the time that we have with our family the best that we can. So it's going to be a little different, and so that's okay. So before we were on the road with Pam when Pam was in the studio with us. Now Pam is literally on the road today.
We're on the road, and I'm almost home too. So.
Oh, that's good. Hey, before we go, anything else you'd like to share today? What's going on in Pam's mind?
Well, if I heard you correctly, you were asking me because it's a little staticky, and that's probably my end. I'm always, every time I go on your show, and I love you guys, and you do a beautiful job, and thank you for asking me on here. I'm sorry about the driving situation.
We love it. It's good.
And I'm not the best driver to begin with, so. My children are generally terrified when I drive because I drive really, really slow because I'm so afraid of getting a ticket. Or when I go to New Jersey, we don't drive in New Jersey anymore. So I just get lost everywhere. You there?
Yeah, we're here.
I'm sorry. So anyway, so my point is, okay, so you guys always help me out because I'm in a bind here. I have writer's block, and every time I go on your show, I have writer's block, and when I get off, I don't have it anymore. So I'm writing right now about Trattoria Romana and a little confusion with Trattoria Toscana in Eltingville. There's a little
right. Yep.
So Trattoria Toscana, I will leave you on this note, is open in Eltingville. They are not associated with Trattoria Romana. And Trattoria Romana's last day is on Sunday, the 22nd, sadly. So
it's funny that you say that. Monday night, we were hoping, my brother and I were hoping to go to Trattoria Romana for dinner. And he was, pre-pandemic, was open on Mondays, and I thought maybe his final week he'd open on a Monday, but now that makes sense based on what you were saying. And guess where we wrapped up on Monday? Trottery. If we hadn't been there, I had heard about the food, and so we went to go see Adrian and check out what was happening there. And it was, listen, it's not a replacement for sure,
Right.
but it was we had a good meal. We had a good meal.
That's nice.
So that was funny. That was interesting.
Do you know that they have the most expensive bottle of wine on Staten Island in a restaurant?
I did see that.
They do?
Yes, they do.
What is it?
It's $3,900, I think.
$5,900.
51.
Wow.
Yeah.
$5,900. I can't even imagine having that inventory. But I just wanna, before we sign off, I just want to tell you the happiest day, the happiest animals on Thanksgiving.
Oh, the dogs. She's going to talk about dogs. Probably.
Or the chickens. The chickens?
Oh.
I love it. Oh my God.
There's a lot of chickens.
So that's a crazy Staten Island thing, right? That you have chickens in your yard.
Well, that live look here in Dorgan Hills are all the turkeys.
Right, correct.
Yes, they're dancing in the streets on Thanksgiving. So,
Pam, you're the best. It's great to see you. We'll have you back inside the studio when we can talk more, and hopefully we are staying open through the next few weeks, and there are no issues.
Good.
One step at a time, right?
One step.
I hope not.
Yeah.
All right. Stay safe and
Bye, Pam.
Thank you, Pam.
Thank you.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
bye.
Pam Silvestri, everybody.
I love her.
Thank you, Pam, for popping in.
She's so wonderful.
She really is. So we now have two memes of the day, Naz. Two, because one I was prepared for, because this.
Oh, and then one I guess because it came up in conversation.
Well, no, this one was sent to us live, so thank you to Kenny Soto for this one. Elf on the Shelf, 2020 Elf on the Shelf just arrived, and I love Chucky. Chucky is, I have to say,
Yeah,
I'm a fan of the
I
Child's
like
Play
things that
movies.
frighten me. Life is scary enough.
Life is scary enough, and this is how I feel. You know how they throw the bowling ball in the crowd if they win the game, if they throw a ball? Well, that's not allowed in bowling.
I know that now.
Yeah. That's how I feel.
I've seen that one. That's funny.
In the meantime, an old meme of the day is not wearing a mask is just. Thanks, Andy, for that one.
I'm surprised you didn't make the cheesecake one. If you eat the cheesecake, whatever he said.
Yeah, you know what? Since we're talking food here, no, but I
don't want to get back on the
No.
Cuomo kick.
A lot of times we make fun of a lot of his analogies and things that he says, and I mean, all the politicians, they all have them. Trump probably has the best isms overall that have turned into memes. Cuomo had one yesterday about the damn cheesecake. It was a terrible analogy. It makes sense, but he fat shamed us all. He totally fat shamed all of us about eating cheesecake, and that's such crap.
I think it's all in the way you take it.
I took it personally.
Clearly.
I took that personally. Do you guys know what we're talking about here? Did you see that? Did you hear that? Amongst his rampage of things, you know what? Because I think
was it yesterday or was it the day before?
I don't know what day it was.
Yeah.
Because they were all rolling into each other again. And you know what? We laugh. We don't know what day it is a week anymore at nighttime because now with this new schedule, it's a disaster.
News in the building and
this new every other week schedule is
people are missing.
Oh,
it should be
kids
here.
Kids are out of school. Kids are back in school. Yeah. Here, Nazzy, read the quote. You ready? It was yesterday. Thanks, Patricia.
Okay.
Fat shamed us.
If you didn't eat the cheesecake, you wouldn't have a weight problem. It's all self-imposed.
Yeah, and that's him explaining about wearing masks. We got it. Wear the damn mask. But you don't have to fat shame us over that.
Got it. And obviously people who wear masks get it, but there are other people who are just not getting it. I can name you 5 people out here I got to talk to every day.
But I still don't think this is how they're going to get it.
Well, it's silly.
If you eat the cake, you wouldn't be fat. He said that.
He's trying to be
jerk. Dad, you should tell us. Oh, you should be working out. Dad, you want to tell us how to live out? You're already telling us
Frank, you're taking
how to live our lives.
personally.
Because he's already telling us how to live our lives, and now you're fat shaming us.
He's not. He's not, you people. There are plenty of people who are fat that are not ashamed of who they are.
I'm not doing
So
it.
it's all he said
I'm not
was.
saying that.
All he said was, if you didn't eat the cheesecake, you wouldn't gain the weight. That doesn't mean you should be ashamed
And
of
that's not
that.
necessarily true either.
Oh, all right. Well, then you should. Maybe he'll come.
I
Maybe he'll come on the show.
didn't look at the Twitterverse
Not next
yesterday.
week.
I couldn't because I was not.
I have to stay off a lot of that stuff.
But if I was on Twitter yesterday, I would love to see people's responses to
It
that
must have been
quote.
pretty funny.
Because then somebody had to make this meme
Yes.
and post it, and it looks like an official meme. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
that
not just
doesn't
a
look
meme.
like it. Right.
That's almost like that could have been come from the governor's office. I don't even know where it came from.
Yeah, that looks like.
I'm not saying I'm not skinny, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's a bad analogy. I love cheesecake.
So eat it.
Junior's cheesecake, as a matter of
Yeah,
although,
that stuff is good.
I mean, we have some really good cheesecake here on Staten Island. Kid Chef makes a good one.
Yeah.
I love Italian cheesecake too.
There's some good. Listen. Now we're gonna go off on another tangent.
No.
Oh, Mother Moose.
Mother Moose's cheesecake.
Mother Moose. We love Mother Moose.
So we're in Mother Moose a lot because we celebrate a lot of birthdays.
Yeah,
And so
and they're very convenient right down
on the way to work, we stop there. I mean, we get from everywhere between Mark's,
Mark's.
Pasticceria Bruno next door. We go to Mother Moose. Mother Moose. It's become a tradition here at Raps, not only
Yeah.
for our employees and our family here, that we also get the crazy candle that sings and does whatever. But Mother Moose
Almost
has become-
sets off the
for a period of time, we only were getting that 7-layer cookie cheesecake, and that would be when Fran picked up the cakes. It would be the same one all the time. I had to divert. I had to
It's
stop.
good. I mean, I don't like
Yeah.
the other day we had the tiramisu one, and you know what? I don't even like coffee, and I don't like tiramisu.
Oh, that tiramisu
but that was
delicious.
crazy. That was crazy
Oh.
good.
So when I walk in, now when I walked in there this week, I get greeted. She's a lovely lady, and she's going, "Well, whose birthday is it today?" I said, "Well, it's Felicita's birthday. We had Pearl turned. I'm saying it. She's proud of it. Pearl and Vicky both turned 70 this week.
Within a week of each
Happy
other.
birthday,
It's
Pearl and
crazy.
Vicky.
I'm closing in on them. Too.
Oh, and Butchie's does have a good cheesecake too. They're out of the way though. I haven't even gone
Yeah,
that
they're
far.
up. They're
Holtzman's, I love, they have it, and their cheesecake's just a little different. I like their cheesecake too. They're up the block.
So there is no shortage of bakeries or
No.
good baked goods on.
We
Staten
already
Island.
talked about that prior, so we can talk about that all day. Hey, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
I think we all have a lot to be thankful for. Whether we are you agree to disagree, we're living in this crazy world in a pandemic where we just want people to be. Pearl is old. Pearl's not old. We're just lots to be thankful that we're here right now. Our businesses are open. We're doing the best that we can, and so we just need to stay the course. And so I feel like I'm certainly thankful for that. We just stay the course. Wear the damn mask. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face, and we'll be in good position. Naz, what are you really thankful for?
I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for my friends. And you know what? I'm thankful for a day. I'm thankful for every day. You know, you never know. One day you wake up, life changes and you go down a different road. But for right now, I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be here and be healthy and have my family with me.
Echo. Share what you're thankful for. We want to know. But happy Thanksgiving. We hope you have a
Thank
safe
you, everybody.
and healthy.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks for listening to us. We're thankful for you for sticking with us for
We certainly
133
are.
episodes. As our friend Todd Bavona stuck in there before.
I saw that. I
The
caught my
longest running
attention.
broadcast in Staten Island Facebook history. Mazel tov. And you know what? I'm thankful for cheesecake. Yeah, I am too.
Oh, I'm definitely thankful for
And
cheesecake.
every day truly is a gift, especially these days.
Yeah.
So enjoy with your friends or family, whatever it might be. Just do it safely. You know what I'm thankful for too? My birthday's next week. And
It is.
not only do I get pie on Thanksgiving, I get birthday pie on Thanksgiving.
That's awesome.
And I don't want to share it.
No, I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
What do you, wait, pie, all right, so quick. If there's a pie on Thanksgiving that you're looking forward to have, what is it?
It's a split between blueberry and apple. I like both of them. Pecan is okay, it's just so much sugar.
Well, it's pure
Hate
sugar.
to be a downer, right? But those two are my favorites.
Okay, we have family traditions, but I can't just have one, so I have.
Oh, and I also like coconut custard.
Well, so it's coconut custard in my house, it's apple and pumpkin. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
nothing
Oh,
like
the rest of my
tastes of the
family,
season.
the rest of my family like pumpkin.
And I like the grain pie, but we get that. We
Yeah,
do that
that's
for
kind of,
Easter.
yeah.
Well, happy Thanksgiving. We will see you in a couple weeks. Enjoy. Please be like Harry. Wear your mask. Wash your damn hands.
And don't touch your face.
Don't. I mean, yeah.
Just keep clean.
Stay clean. Nobody should have to remind anybody. No, we look forward to seeing you when you are back here on the lanes with us. And we'll see you in a couple weeks. Naz,
That was awesome.
bye everyone.
Bye-bye.